Hi everyone, welcome to your lesson on seminar. This lesson will go over what seminar is, what seminar isn't, and then we'll give you background information on what is going to happen before seminar, during seminar, and after seminar. So, seminar is a time when we all gather together to discuss questions and different ideas that relate to a reading, a video, a piece of artwork, and whatever it is that we have read or watched or observed, it is going to connect to our content and or our theme. So if you're reading a seminar in math, more than likely it's connecting to something you're doing in math class. Seminar is a place to practice patience. It's a way to learn better listening skills, how to communicate better, how to disagree politely with people, how to think critically, and read and speak. Seminar is a place where you will start to think of questions that you may not have an answer to, and it may make you question your values on certain topics. Seminar is a really exciting time because you go in with an idea of what the reading means or what your perception of the video was, but as you start to talk about it with your peers, your ideas might change, and more often than not, they will change for the better. So what seminar is not? Seminar is not a place to tell personal stories or opinions. It is not a forum for arguing one side of something. It's not unstructured free time discussion. And it's not just for readings. Like I said earlier, it can be for videos, piece of artwork, etc. Okay, so what are you going to do before seminar? So there's some preparation that has to happen before you participate in your first seminar. The very first thing you'll do is you'll read and annotate your text, if it's a reading that you're doing. If it's a video, then you'll watch the video clip a couple times and take some notes on whatever it is you're watching. So you'll have come to seminar prepared with either your video watched or your reading read and everything annotated. And then when we actually get into the classroom, we will arrange the room in a circle so we are facing one another. Seminar is always done in a circle. And we're always all on the same level in seminar, sitting in chairs. It's a very formal discussion. Also before seminar, your text that is annotated will be checked. If it is not completed, if it's not fully annotated, you will be asked to sit out from the beginning of the seminar, and you will have a U marked, which means unprepared. And you'll just go and sit at a table and quietly prepare for seminar, and as soon as you're done annotating, you'll come and join the seminar. You'll bring your annotated reading, your questions that you have, because you'll have off in the margins you'll have written questions as part of your annotations, and also a pencil. A lot of people also like to bring a binder or a book to press down on, because you'll be making some notes during seminar. So if you're someone who needs a clipboard, then and there aren't any, please bring a binder or something to write on. This is an example of annotations. Annotations look different depending on who taught you and depending on what your style is. Annotations are notes about whatever it is that you're reading. And annotations can be questions about whatever it is you're reading. Annotations can be, you can circle something, a term, if you don't know the meaning of it. They can be vocab words to go and look up. Annotations can be notes that connect the text to something else that you've studied or connecting it to something in your life. So if we look at this piece right here, this is a poem, and we have different colors here. Notice the very little amount of highlighting. Many people think that annotations mean highlighting everything. When you highlight everything, it's just the same as highlighting nothing, because highlighting tells you what is important and what isn't important. And if you highlight everything, that means everything is important, which is sort of like saying nothing is important, because everything can't be important. So be very, very mindful when you are annotating that you annotate only what is super important, or that you only highlight what's super important. I like to circle words that I don't know the definition of so that I know to go and look them up, and then I write the definition out next to them. I'll draw a line from that circled word and write it out in the margin what that word means. You might want to put your questions in red so they pop out. You can choose your own colors. It's just important that you have a system that works. So you're going to have a good balance between highlighting as well as identifying vocab words you don't know, connecting it to either your life and or something else that you've learned in another class or that class, and questions that you might have about it. It might bring up questions you have. So those during seminar is a good time to bring up all of these. And so you have these detailed annotations because you read this before seminar so that when you get to seminar, this will spark your memory. Okay, so during seminar, for the first few seminars, it's really helpful to have a name tag because we don't all know each other's names. And so as a group, you can choose to either have you can either choose to call each other by first name, or you can choose to call each other by your last name. And if you choose to do by last name, you will call each other by Miss or Mr. And then whatever your last name is. It's totally up to the group. Then during seminar, the very first thing you'll do before each seminar starts is there'll be an intro question on the back of your seminar. There'll be an intro question posted somewhere in the room, and you'll write the response to that on the back of your seminar self-evaluation rubric. The intro question is a writing question. It is a question that you will not share with anybody, and it's a question just to get you thinking about how the seminar connects to something in your life or content. It's usually a personal question. Again, you won't share that. If you want to share it as part of when you turn your evaluation rubric in, if you want to share it with your guide, that's completely fine. Just write on your rubric that you wish for your guide to see your response to your writing question. During seminar, it's very, very important to agree or disagree with statements and not people. So if somebody says something that you don't agree with, instead of saying, I disagree with so-and-so, you would say, I disagree with Mr. Bryan's statement, instead of I disagree with Mr. Bryan. It's a more polite way of disagreeing with a person that will oftentimes lessen the likelihood that they react defensively. So if you aren't disagreeing with that person, rather their statement, it's not a much nicer way. It makes people feel much better. And then again, always reference the text. So whenever you're talking about something, connect it back to the text by saying, on page 2, paragraph 4, it states that, blah, 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 whatever it is that you're going to say. So you state the page number and you state the paragraph number. Some seminars will be numbered for you ahead of time. Other times we'll number them together before we start reading and annotating it, so that it's numbered from the beginning. During seminar, you are responsible for choosing the next person to speak. We want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to speak, so pay attention to who has already spoken and who hasn't. And this also relates to not always calling on your friends, or not always calling on somebody who has a differing opinion than you, and you might start to go into an argument mode or a debate mode about something. So always be sure you are paying attention to who's speaking, and make sure that you don't over or under speak during seminar, because we want to make sure that there's a really nice balance and that we are able to hear everybody's words and thoughts during seminar. And in order to actively listen during seminar, it's really helpful to write down your thoughts as they arise, so that you don't waste your time trying to remember what it is you want to say instead of listening to other people. And I know personally I have that's a challenge for me. I am very busy thinking about what it is I want to say, because somebody might say something that makes you think of something else. And so to be able to listen to what everybody's saying, really actively listening, it's so helpful to write down your thoughts. Just jot them down, which is why it's really good to have something to write with during seminar. And then when you want to speak, instead of raising your hand when you get the urge to speak, please just wait until the person who's speaking is done and then put your hand up. Everybody will see that you want to speak because your hand will be up, but if you put your hand up while somebody is still speaking, it can really make them feel pressured to hurry up and finish. And again, everybody's words are really important, so we don't want to make anybody feel rushed with their thoughts. Okay, and after seminar, we'll do a whip around, and that's used to close our seminar. It's a question, and you will answer it with very short, concise statements. It's sometimes a yes or no question or a give one word question. It's very fast. It's not used to continue the conversation, rather to close our conversation. And oftentimes you might not be ready to have the conversation be closed when the whip around comes, but that's okay. It's really great when a seminar ends and you're still ready to talk about it, because that means you're fired up about it and you're excited about it. And so you can continue that conversation outside of the seminar with whoever it is that you might have been interested in continuing to speak with. Once we're done with the whip around, we will complete the seminar self-evaluation in the circle, and we will turn those in, and then we'll return our furniture to the proper location within the classroom. And that is how we end our seminars. So who is ready for your first seminar? Woo!